I'm exhausted. I've been accosted by the cost of it. The little voice that lingers, always mocking my accomplishments, is an accomplice in helping me toss it all away. I wish that I could tell you something positive, but not today.
It has an energy. It has an energy, you know. Orchards are this amazing place of life.
I was drawn to the orchard because it's a big, open, natural space. And it's more than that. It's a space of life. It's a space of creation. All of the plants that grow there and the trees go through this beautiful cycle of life and death, and that is what we wanted to capture for the video. It just seemed like the perfect location.
Dude, it's so cool. You're probably aware of this phenomenon, but what I'm right now seeing is two mirror images of myself. One is right side up and one is upside down.
We don't kill tracks, we bring them to life. The type of music you can listen with your kids and your wife. Set us in sight, ripping the fickle idiots down. I'm drilling the sound into your city, village, and town. I'm chrysalis now, but I'm ready to break out. And I'm ready to set stages of flaming and take a bow. I'm taking a vow to make every second count. From today till the day that I'm an angel in the clouds. I'ma say it loud, climb every mountain and every staircase, blaring like a siren, it's buried inside your airwaves.
My name's Gabriel Reimer. I'm Zen Tempest.
Originally, I met Zen at the 72-hour music video competition. During that competition, we got to choose which artists we wanted to work with. We made a list of 3. Zen was on our list of 3 we wanted to work with, but weren't able to work with him for that one.
But Michael and I definitely made a connection, and so he's like, okay, let's talk, you know, let's work on something in the future. A little time goes by, and I'm over at the Wow Hall volunteering and run into Michael, and he's telling me about this idea for a music project.
So we went out to the orchard and hung out for a couple hours down by the river. We talked about things that were important to us spiritually and philosophically. We talked about things that we would like to see in the song and the things that we like about music in general. We then parted ways for a couple weeks from there while he wrote the song and I kind of started working on ideas for the video, but we really didn't have anything concrete. We just knew that we wanted to make something.
Yeah, so out of this sort of perfect storm of this cocktail of events and sequences of events, you know, Michael and I ended up recording a song, you know. I had my buddy Chief, the Chief Charlton, make an instrumental particularly for this track. I wrote, Flylingual Jesse Warner was a vocalist on the track. Lisa Vasquez was a vocalist on the track. Awkward was a vocalist on the track. So that was beautiful.
I thought that the music was really beautiful. I thought that the lyrics spoke to me.
He's a very free-spirited guy. He was always on the ball when it came to the music and to that end of things. He's very, very much into being a wordsmith and his words.
It's beautiful. I mean, I liked it when I just read the lyrics and I went, oh yeah, it totally connected to a lot of the things that I had thought about with respect to the piece, the installation.
The theme of this video emerged. It was this unfolding process. It literally, I mean, had a way of visually tying together what was only an idea that was sort of partially hinted at in the subject matter of the song and in the location, like the string, the thread that connects the entirety of the human experience, all of the people, you know, the fact that the thread is weaving in between all of these people who are kind of me, kind of people I've known, you know. And that's what art is about, is showing truths.
What are we doing?
It was an original piece. It was a piece that Kareen made. It was in display at Lane Community College in one of the art buildings for a while, which is where I first saw the piece. And I took some photographs of it at the time because it was very moving. I really appreciated the message that she was trying to convey with it, or at least the message that I received it from it.
I kept the title vague on purpose. I didn't want it to have a name because I didn't want to limit. Sometimes the title will limit somebody's experience of it. and I didn't want to limit it with a name. So I just refer to it as the votive installation.
So the concept of the video is that inside of all of us there's many voices, and they're always telling you to do different things at different times. But the goal of living in balance is to get all of those voices to be saying the same thing at the same time. And we reflected that often in the video with the statues, how they're connected together, the many different people singing the lyrics, the dancers in the middle. All of it points to this larger picture of the living in balance, of getting all the voices inside of you to say the same thing at the same time. The significance of the piece is that it shows that we're all connected, that we are all really the same entity. We're all connected. If I do something, it will affect you. If you do something, it will affect me. Maybe not directly, but in some way, we will be affected. And I feel like the art piece really represents that in a really profound way.
Yeah, and then all of the talent in the video, you know, which gave such life and substance to the music and the form, the container that we created, you know, they sort of was the final limb, bringing it to like this feeling of embodiment, you know, and everybody in the video did really well.
Working with a bunch of talented people who are actually going to also help you was a plus. Talent was great. I love the dancers.
Oh, the dancer. Now that was a sort of late addition to the project, so it's very interesting.
Dancing was amazing. I love the modern dance going into the chorus.
We chose to use modern dance in this piece. That style of dancing would very much represent the ins and outs that go through people's thought processes in their head. And the dancers are all doing various movements, however, they're never really all in sync. And so again, it goes back to that thought of there's all these voices in our head and they're all doing different things, and we're trying to get them all to do the same thing. Of course, artistically, it adds a lot of motion and a lot of beauty into the piece, and so that's a definite bonus. However, it was mostly an artistic decision for the narrative structure. The dance was choreographed by Cynthia. I tracked her down. I have a friend, Nicole, who was one of our dancers, and so she then got me in touch with Cynthia.
She just called me up and was like, hey, I have this project. I was really excited. They're beautiful. It's so special to be a dancer and to be able to internalize someone's vision and perform it, show the world to be an instrument in art is so special, and I thank them for giving me the opportunity to do that with them, to open that doorway of expression. But there were other parts that I felt like just came spontaneously, and then when we lined it up with the music, they just sat there perfectly. Like this, the faces of the people who love me. It just happened spontaneously, and it seemed so perfect.
Very, very nice ladies. I filmed them, man. I felt creepy, like, you're in the dark, a little bit of light. I'm gonna come around you with the camera, bend over now, like, I'm sorry, You choreographed it. They're like, but the audience is that way. I know, but the track is here.
The darkness was something that I was used to. The lights on the floor, they were kind of a surprise. I knew that they were going to be there as I was choreographing the dance, but when it came down to it and we were actually dancing on them, it was definitely a challenge. It was sort of an improvisational choreographic challenge suddenly thrown in there that was like, oh, and then there's these lights, and how do we incorporate them and keep this whole and succinct in a sense. And I think it worked out great. I think that we worked a little bit with the lights the day before, and it kind of put everyone at ease.
The lighting was done by the Fuzzy Boys.
Terry Lewis, the lighting guy. Hello. I am Hassan Yassif of the Fuzzy Boys. Welcome to the studio. This is where we prep some of our visuals that we like to project around town. This is the chamber of madness, you could say. Oh, anyway. So a little bit about the Soul Orchard video. That was a great project, actually. See, the thing with the Fuzzy Boys, we don't usually work with live dancers. That's new. We usually go around town, throw up video on walls, do weird live performances, different things like that, but we've never worked with live dancers. So when Zen and Michael and Chris came to us with this challenge, we jumped. We jumped high. I mean, real high. It's a lot of work. That's the kind of thing Fuzzy Boys do. We work hard.
One that you're doing the lights for us, but we set him up to do the lights, and we had, I think, 2 or 3 rehearsals where we worked through different patches and different ways we wanted the lights to look. And then we actually, on the last day, just kind of made some changes right at the last minute, and they turned out really well.
Lights, Terry. I like it. Sorry if I don't communicate too well. Probably sucks working with me. I don't communicate too well. Because I'd be like, you see that thing right there? Move it that way a little bit.
And we just keep going, yeah. And we just keep going, yeah. And we just keep going, and we just keep going, and we just keep going.
Filmmaking is a lot like, the way I describe filmmaking to people is this. You're gonna make 8 million decisions. You can just pray that you get half of them right.
My name is Gabriel Rama, I fucking rhyme good. Why did I decide to even try it, dog? I could. Was it a poor investment? Was it a bad move? That's a good question, dude. How about I ask you? Ask you? You actually answer. Like it matters what you have to say about being a rapper, dog. It's a passion, it's pretty fun. It's a God-given mission from the sun, my tongue.
I definitely enjoy video work. Stories are more fun when you need to tell them with other people.
I think it's fun. The team and the space and the moment, it was just magical. Now I'm blind to it.
Rolling.
Yeah, but I think the visual element is super potent. It's beautiful.
Thanks, you guys are really awesome. It was so much fun to be part of filming.
There's always hiccups, there's always problems, there's always things that go wrong, things that go really right. There were a lot of things that went really, really right on this project. If nothing else, just the energy that we had throughout the entire production was incredible.
To my crew. Jesse, you were amazing. You hauled that stuff that day, and you didn't play with blue calcite that much. I liked it. I like the work. Everything else is fun. You know, I didn't get to socialize too much, and I felt awkward because I felt like a creepy man behind the camera staring at people going, ooh, that's a good shot, that's a good shot.
I'm grateful. It was a really interesting project. It was really fun to be a part of the process. The video came out really beautiful. I'd like to express gratitude for being a part of it.
It was amazing. It was really good. I was very touched, and it made me cry. I cried. It was beautiful. I wanted to thank Michael and Gabriel for giving me the opportunity to experience that. It was wonderful. It was fun. It was fun. It was more than fun.
Really?
Yeah, well, it has one in the center of it that's right side up, and then it has one on the lens that's upside down.
Do you want me to bounce and you can do audio?
It's true. Sure. Wow. Wow. Wow.
If I could say something to everybody on the set, it would be thank you. There's no way that this would be possible with just a few people. It really did take the specialized talent of choreographers and dancers and sculptors and artists and videographers and musicians and wordsmiths, and I mean, it's just amazing how much talent it took just to make this happen. And so all I can say is thank you.